Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel where we discuss so many topics. Today we'll be looking at gender equality and the neglect of the boy child. Now, I know that we've discussed the issue of gender equality over and over again. But sometimes when we discuss, or most times when we discuss the issue of gender, the focus is usually on the female gender, which ought not to be so. You know, recent statistics have shown that more boys experience sexual abuse and sexual exploitation, and most of these cases go unreported. Today, we want to look at how we can address the underreported sexual abuse of these adolescent boys. Stay with me as we move on in this topic. Gender equality discussion, like I said earlier, focuses on protecting the girl child. Look at how the female gender can be protected, how the female gender has been put advantage over time, and we try as much as possible to right this wrong in the issue of whenever we discuss the issue of gender equality. But however, the adolescent boys are also experiencing sexual abuse, but majorly they experience what we refer to today as social neglect. You know, we usually say, oh, the male are supposed to be protective, they ought to face their issues headlong, thereby silencing, and the society has a way of shaming its own. Let's take for instance, a boy comes to report that, oh, he's been harassed sexually, maybe verbally. You know, the next thing you hear from whoever is reporting to is some form of laughter and jesting that how can they molest you? How would you harass you? Are the man now, man up. That is what we usually tell our boy children. But this to be so, we need to give the same ears that we give to the female gender. We also have to give same to the male gender when we discuss the issue of gender equality. Reporting biases and masculinity norms prevent boys from speaking out. Today we'll look at why boys abuse is usually underreported, how gender equality must include them. Now we understand when we say gender equality means equal rights, equal opportunities, equal protection for everyone. But female are getting more they are getting more opportunities, they are getting more protected at the expense of the male gender. And then how then can we right this wrong? It is believed that the masculinity norm creates the false belief that boys are too strong to be victim. In fact, I was having a discussion with a friend who says that he doesn't believe that the male can be raped, that there must be some form of consension, which is wrong. The male can also be raped, just as women that can overpower men, because they are built and they are strong too. So we should never undermine when male come to us, especially our adolescents, when they come to us and speak up on issues concerning abuse and harassment. Now we should also overlook the issue of stereotypes and lack of data. Stereotype is one of the things that has led to underreporting of the case of adolescent abuse, especially when it comes to the issue of male. We should avoid such stereotype and encourage victims coming up to speak up. We should also avoid victim shaming those who come forward to report cases. We should never say things like, oh, it is because you were in so place, why did you dress in so way? All right, we should ensure that we listen to them, never make them feel bad about themselves, rather seek Let them see you as a channel of liberation where you could find solution to their problem, even in the face of the most difficult situation. Now let's look at the issues, the reason why most of this abuse of young boys are underreported. Number stigma and shame. Many of our boys believe that when they report the case of sexual abuse, they will be termed as weak and they will be shamed. Also, I've mentioned the issue of stereotypes, where we have assumption that men always consent to sexual activity. We also have the case of institutional neglect, where we have very few or no resources are given to legal protection for male victims. Also, the perception of female masculinity must be checked and redefined in the society of today. What are the consequences of underreporting? Now we have psychological trauma. This will lead to depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. Also, it will lead to social withdrawal. Such no longer want to mix with his friend. He would no longer want to be seen as a member of society. He will begin to withdraw and keep to himself, having difficulty trusting others and forming healthy relationship. Also, because our days on adolescent boys, they would begin to have or record poor academic performances. Their grades to continue to decline, and they would, before you know it, there will be school disengagement. Most boys who have experienced cases like this have either dropped out of school or become a bully. As I was trying to find a defense mechanism against such happening again. We've seen some of them join so many vices like smoking, like drinking, like partying, like bullying others, and so many more. Implication of cases of underreporting sexual abuse among boys. They will have a risk of continued abuse when they don't speak up. The perpetrator would continue to abuse their victim because and they cannot do anything to them. Also, they can resort to substance abuse. The victim can resort to substance abuse as well as become very aggressive. How then do we break this solution to this case? Number one, in our schools, we need to train our teachers to recognize and address abuse sign of abuse in boys. When we see a boy that is never aggressive, all of a sudden becomes aggressive, such pattern, and the teacher should try as much as possible to pay keen attention. Also, parents must ensure that they encourage open conversation. Don't dismiss children whenever they talk to you. Feel heard, make them feel welcome, and never blame them when they open up to you. Also, our community should raise awareness that boys can also be victims of sexual abuse. Some boys don't even understand what sexual abuse is or what they are. So whenever they've been abused or they experience such, they just see it as the normalcy of life and they move on with our life. Our media also should change the narrative that portrays boys as always willing participants. Also, we should have that advocate for laws that recognize and protect male victims. Towards how do we create inclusion of gender equality? We must ensure that it consists of both the boys and the girls, the female and the male one is being all of the time. Advocacy should also include boys in sexual violence discussion. We should also carry out enough research to address underreported the true scale of abuse in our society. Society must also shift its mindset to ensure boys receive the same protection as girls. Now we have a case study here, the story of David, who is a 15-year-old student and has become withdrawn and began to skip school. He reveals that older female friend has been abusing him. She threatens to attack anyone. He is afraid to report the abuse due to societal bias and fear of not being believed. He interprets his behavior as rebellion and punishes him instead. Now, what I want you to do is, based on this case study, that I want you to, number one, what are the societal and institutional bias that has created to David's silence? Mention them. Number two, what possible long-term effects of underreporting abuse like this? How can community and family ensure that boys such as David feel safe while reporting the case of abuse? And lastly, how can gender advocacy include boys in gender equality? You can submit your assignment to my email address oluwatimilenya@gmail.com. See you in the next video. For now, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, you can turn on the notification button so that whenever I upload videos like this, you'll be the first.